Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. So, when we talk about unfair treatment, we always go back to Caitlin Clark's beginning of the league last year. How unfair she was. She's not given enough credit. People downplay her impact. We've seen the numbers skyrocket. We've seen the viewership skyrocket. We see the sales skyrocket. You can't dispute what is going on, because if you look at it to some points, what's happened? You see the March Madness tournament, the viewership is not where it was last year or the few years before. You look at Rival, the numbers they did, because if you don't have your the number one person in the league now, she can't go back to college. Caitlin Clark could have stayed in college for another year, you know, but she left early. She could have came back and probably would have been in the Final Four again. So, but at the same time, you know, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of unfair assessment when it comes down to Caitlin Clark, you know, and you have the old guard, but you have the old guard from a male standpoint of old WNBA players that comes in and give Caitlin Clark a lot of love and a lot of credit. And one person that has came out and talked about it was Mychal Thompson, the ex-forward for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, we already know what the Lakers stood for back then: Showtime with Magic, Kareem, Michael Cooper, James Worthy, all of them, Sam Perkins, all of them guys. So we knew, Brian, Byron Scott, all of them. So it's so many you can name. But when they talk about talent, they understand things. This is where you get to see how people pay attention to one person. Now, Mychal Thompson, and you already know who his son is, Klay Thompson, formerly with the Golden State Warriors, now plays for the Dallas Mavericks. But he sat down with Outkick, and they was talking about how unfair treatment Caitlin Clark has been getting in the league, in which we know that she has been getting unfair treatment in the league because we have seen it from the beginning to now, even off season. She's continued. You have Monica McNutt comes out and say, "Oh, well, she's the reason why Caitlin Clark popularity is what it is because she gravitates, because she's white and she gravitates to white little girls," which that's a false narrative. But the thing about it is, Monica McNutt, for somebody who played and as an analyst, they only see one side, and they see the whole spectrum, but they only say it one sided. I guess that's the best way to describe that. But like I said, Mychal Thomas, he sat down with them and he shared his thoughts, and his thoughts was pretty clear.
Well, they don't like Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, I've been noticing, I've been following her career since she was a sophomore at Iowa, and I recognize how different she was, how different she played the game. She played the game like Steph Curry. We had never seen a woman play like that before. And I knew once she got further along in her career in college, I used to tell all my colleagues who are not into women's basketball, I say, "Hey, man, you got to check out this girl at Iowa, man. She shoots from the logo. She shoots from almost half court. She's different." And I was trying to emphasize her for about a year. Then he finally caught on. And men who travel with us in our traveling party, who are basically anti-women's basketball, just didn't care for it, didn't want to talk about it, had no interest in it at all. they all of a sudden they started watching Caitlin Clark and got intrigued by her, and they became fans of her and her game. And now that she's in the WNBA, man, I tell you, she needs a Jeep endorsement, a commercial, because Jeep is an acronym that I've come up with of the way she has been treated and not welcomed into the WNBA. Jeep, the acronym is JEEP, and that stands for jealousy, envy, egos, and pettiness. Jeep.
So you hear what Michael Thomas had to say. I do love that Jeep acronym, jealousy, envy, um, uh, I forgot the other E, but in pettiness. Because now you know what? That will be something. He advocate that to be, have her for her to have a Jeep endorsement. How fitting would it be that she gets a call from Jeep and say, "Hey, I would love for you to be a spokesperson for Jeep, and we have this acronym we use, but that could be a way of showing their competition how jealous are them, how envy of them, and how petty they are." That would be pretty fitting. So, Michael Thomas, you never know. Jeep might hear you and offer Caitlin Clark an endorsement, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all for what he's saying, because the fact of the matter is we have seen it time and time again. We have seen how this league continue to not rock with Caitlin Clark. I mean, when you have your own commissioner of the league that doesn't stand up for you, allow you to get physical assaulted in the league, physical foul abuse. Oh, well, that's how welcome to the W moment. No, there ain't no way in the world that unless you in a sorority, then that's different. But there's no way you're gonna allow somebody to come to you and say, "Oh well, she's in the W. Let's beat her up. Let's physical hurt her." Nah, that's dumb, because they don't even do that in the NBA. They don't even do it in the NFL at all. I just watched my team, the Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels went through the league, took this team from the bottom of the barrel like the year before, and made them had them one game away from going to the Super Bowl. And there was no welcome to the league moment for him. He was taking the league by storm more than less. But like I said, there's a lot of envy, jealousy, and pettiness going on with these women because they can't. You just witnessed DJ Carrington ride. She rolled the coattails of Caitlin Clark to get her name, by her being hard fouling and doing antics. Now she riding Asia Reed's tail to get her endorsement with endorsement deal with Reebok. You know what I'm saying? These people know that they can't do it on their own because clearly you have looked in the league for the last 2 to 3 to 5 years. These people can't do it on their own. You need somebody like Caitlin Clark to come in to skyrocket it for y'all to get the attention that y'all need, because, oh, by the way, we want what we deserve. You don't get what you deserve because you didn't push the league further enough, because you wanted to stay on any agenda that you needed to stay on just to continue to keep the league in a stronghold. But now the league has more eyes than ever. Y'all can't take it. Y'all can't stand it. But then y'all want to benefit from it. So Michael Thomas went on to say also that he never been starstruck before, and he was starstruck when he first met Caitlin Clark. Take a listen.
When I was in Indy, I didn't care about that. The only thing I remember about Indy is when I was leaving Cambridge Arena in a loading dock, Caitlin Clark walked right by me, and I froze. I didn't say hello to her. How about that? My favorite basketball player outside of Clay was right there in front of me. There she was, and I said, "No, I can't do it." But getting back to your question, you're right. That's what I remember most about Indiana. Caitlin Clark was right there next to me.
So that's funny because we all have met people that we admire. We have met famous people, from singers, actors, whoever the case might be. For somebody that's a veteran one of the all-time great players of the league in the in the NBA, Michael Thomas, who froze, and then he said that his favorite basketball player outside of his own son, Klay Thompson. That says a whole lot in itself. His favorite basketball player outside of his son, Klay, is Caitlin Clark. I mean, this man, and people don't understand that men, myself and others, no matter what color you are, what race you are, they love seeing this girl play basketball. Like Michael said, no female has been doing it what she does, shooting from the logo, especially assist that a game, controlling the game, and able to score, able to facilitate at the same time. That's very hard to do. They sit there and say, well, hey, I just did a video on Brianne January. She was a floor general in herself, passing, and scoring. We know the great Tisha Pennicino, how elite passer she was. Everybody raves about Maureen Johannes because she could shoot off of one leg and make all these little fancy passes. Fancy passes is okay, but how efficient you are in your assist total. Everybody raves about Chelsea Gray to be the point guard, whatever they want to do, because she makes fancy passes. I ain't worried about that. But like I said, Michael Thomas makes sure that he illustrates what it is that Caitlin Clark brings to the table. And you can't dispute that at all. You can't. So I like what he had to say, but that Jeep acronym is very fitting. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about Michael Thomas' comments, and should Jeep reach out to Caitlin Clark for an endorsement deal? Hey, I would love to see it. I think he got something going on right there. But until the next episode, guys, be safe, be loved, and be blessed. Livewire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Livewire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Livewire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.